The signal came on an ordinary Tuesday. Humanity had just mastered the new generation of faster-than-light travel, cautiously expanding to the nearest star systems, when the elegant crystalline transmission arrived at Earth's deep space monitoring station. Its message was simple yet profound, an invitation from the stars. "We have observed your emergence into the greater galaxy with interest," the message read. The Galactic Federation extends a formal invitation to humanity to join our community of spacefaring civilizations. Dr. Eris Thorne, the brilliant physicist behind the FTL breakthrough, watched the transmission replay for the third time in the hushed conference room of Earth's Unified Space Command. His dark eyes reflected the holographic display, excitement barely contained beneath his professional demeanor. "It's everything we hoped for," he said, turning to the others. "Contact, acknowledgement, and an invitation, all in one." Across the table, Commander Eva Rostova remained stone-faced, her military posture unwavering. The veteran officer's scarred hand tapped rhythmically against the polished surface. "Or everything we should fear," she countered. "Unknown entities with unknown technology and unknown intentions. We've barely stepped outside our solar system." Between them sat Ambassador Jianli, the youngest person ever appointed to Earth's diplomatic corps. Fresh-faced and idealistic, he leaned forward with undisguised enthusiasm. "This is our chance to learn, to grow, to become part of something greater," he insisted. "We've dreamed of this moment since we first looked up at the stars." 3 months later, humanity's first delegation departed aboard the EAS Prometheus, Earth's newest and most advanced vessel. Dr. Thorne observed the receding blue marble of Earth through the observation deck's viewport, anxiety and excitement battling within him. He had devoted his life to making this journey possible, yet now faced the terrifying prospect that his work might have led humanity into unknown dangers. Commander Rostova joined him, her gaze fixed on the stars ahead rather than the home behind. "Having second thoughts, Doctor?" she asked. "Healthy caution," he replied. "The universe is vast and ancient. We are neither." The citadel appeared first as a distant glimmer against the black void, growing steadily into a structure that defied human comprehension. Not a station or a ship, but something in between, a massive ring-shaped construct surrounded by countless smaller structures, forming a majestic artificial constellation. Vessels of bewildering designs swarmed around it like insects around a luminous flower. "Population estimate, 11 billion, reported the science officer, voice trembling slightly. "Energy signature off our measurable scales." As the Prometheus approached the designated docking area, an escort of sleek, silver vessels materialized alongside them, guiding them through the complex approach vectors. Ambassador Lee stood on the bridge, straightening his formal attire one final time before humanity's first official contact with galactic civilization. The reception chamber dazzled with alien architecture, soaring crystalline arches, gravity-defying waterfalls, and atmospheric conditions precisely calibrated to accommodate dozens of different species simultaneously. The human delegation stared in undisguised wonder as they were led deeper into the chamber. "Welcome, children of Earth," came a melodious voice. Ambassador Zyler of the Vree approached, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin and 4 upper limbs moving in perfect coordination. Despite the translator implants, something in the tone, a subtle condescension, prickled at Rostova's instincts. "We are honored to represent humanity," Lee responded, performing the carefully rehearsed greeting protocol. Around them, the Federation's Leadership Council assembled, a dizzying array of species. Some vaguely humanoid, others utterly alien. Crystalline entities, vapor beings contained in elaborate mechanical suits, creatures that seem more like animated mathematics than biology. "Your species has progressed remarkably quickly," Zyler continued. "From atmospheric flight to FTL travel in less than 2 centuries. Most impressive and concerning." "Concerning?" Thorne asked. "Rapid technological development, without corresponding cultural safeguards, has led to extinction events throughout galactic history, Zyler explained smoothly. The Federation exists partly to ensure developing species integrate safely into the galactic community. The subsequent days blurred into endless meetings, presentations, and negotiations. The terms of humanity's associate membership emerged gradually. Access to basic medical and civilian technology, protection from non-Federation threats, trading rights with established members. In the privacy of their quarters, the delegation debated the proposal. They're offering us knowledge that would advance Earth by centuries, Lee argued. Medical technology that could eliminate disease, energy systems that could end resource scarcity. Rostova paced the room, frustration evident. And were we giving up? They want oversight of our military development, restrictions on our colonial expansion, and safety observers stationed throughout our territory. We be surrendering our sovereignty. Not surrendering, Lee countered. Sharing. Becoming part of something greater. Thorne stood at the viewport, watching the endless flow of vessels around the Citadel. Both perspectives have merit, he said slowly. The technology they're offering could transform human life. But these restrictions, he turned to face them. Why does an advanced civilization fear a species so far behind them technologically? Despite the reservations, Earth's government, swayed by the immediate benefits and the prospect of protection in a suddenly much larger and more dangerous universe, voted to accept the associate membership agreement. The Federation representatives expressed their pleasure at humanity's wisdom, and the first exchange protocols began immediately. The early months of cooperation seemed promising. Federation medical technologies cured several previously intractable diseases. Their agricultural enhancements increased Earth's food production by 30%. Small contingents of advisors and observers established themselves on Earth and in the colonies, offering guidance and assistance. Yet Commander Rostova noticed troubling patterns. The surveillance flights over military installations increased in frequency. The data requests became increasingly intrusive. Applications for defensive systems for the outer colonies were repeatedly delayed or denied by Federation safety committees. They're systematically hobbling our ability to defend ourselves, she argued in a secure conference with Earth's military leadership, while making us dependent on their protection. Against what? Challenged General West. Space pirates? Rogue states? The Federation has maintained peace across 3/4 of the galaxy for millennia. Peace through control, Rostova responded. And we've willingly placed the collar around our own necks. On Proxima 3, humanity's furthest colony, a harsh but resource-rich world, Dr. Thorne led a geological survey team through a particularly promising mountain range. The planet's punishing gravity and thin atmosphere made the work grueling, but Thorne insisted on participating personally, having grown increasingly restless with the administrative duties that had consumed his life since first contact. Doctor, you should see this, called one of his researchers, voice crackling through the comm system. In a narrow ravine, partially exposed by recent seismic activity, a strange metallic outcropping gleamed dully in their lights. Initial scans revealed a previously unknown mineral, later dubbed zephyr ore, with peculiar energy-absorbing properties. What caught Thorne's attention wasn't the mineral itself, but how it affected their equipment. When placed between their scanner and any object, the readings became distorted, sometimes disappearing entirely. That evening, in the privacy of his lab, a troubling thought occurred to him. He placed a sample of the ore between a standard Federation communication device and its receiving station. Complete signal disruption. Thorne stared at the result, mind racing with implications. A natural material that could block Federation scanning technology, that could create blind spots in their omnipresent surveillance. He assembled a small team of trusted colleagues, sworn to secrecy, and began intensive research on Zephyr's properties. If his suspicions about the Federation's true intentions were correct, this unassuming mineral might prove invaluable. The incident that confirmed his fears came 3 months later. The cargo vessel Hermes, transporting supplies to Proxima 3, was attacked by raiders in unclaimed space. Using standard defensive armaments, light-grade laser cannons, but with some minor efficiency enhancements, the Hermes successfully repelled the attack and continued its journey. Within hours, a small Federation enforcement fleet intercepted the vessel. They boarded without permission, demanded full access to system logs and weapons data, and issued a formal reprimand to Earth's government for violations of technological safety protocols. The enhancements were minimal. Captain Rivera of the Hermes protested during the subsequent inquiry, well within the parameters initially approved. The Federation representative remained unmoved. Any unauthorized modifications to weapons systems, however minor, represent a violation of Section 7.3 of the Associate Membership Agreement. The safety protocols exist for a reason. Ambassador Lee, increasingly disillusioned with Federation politics, confronted Ambassador Zeiler privately after the hearing. This response was disproportionate, Lee argued. The Hermes defended itself against pirates using approved systems with minor modifications. No lives were lost. Zeiler's expression remained placid, almost pitying. You must understand, Ambassador, that guiding young species requires firm boundaries. Humanity's volatility is well documented in your own history. These protocols exist to protect you from yourselves as much as to protect others from you. The condescension in Zeiler's tone, no longer subtle, solidified something in Lee's mind. That evening, using counter-surveillance techniques he had discreetly learned, he established contact with Rostova's growing underground network. I was wrong, he admitted. The Federation doesn't see us as equals or even potential equals. We're resources to exploit and dangers to contain. Rostova's expression remained neutral, but satisfaction flickered briefly in her eyes. Welcome to reality, Ambassador. Now, what can you tell me about their internal discussions? Their true assessment of humanity. Lee became their eyes and ears within the Federation's inner circles, feeding information to Rostova's increasingly organized resistance. The commander used this intelligence to accelerate the secret mining and transportation of Zephyr ore while establishing black military units and research facilities unknown to Federation observers. Dr. Thorne's team made breakthrough after breakthrough, developing methods to enhance and apply Zephyr ore's shielding properties to vessels, facilities, and eventually entire regions. A parallel military technology program, led by Rostova, focused on adapting and improving the limited defensive systems they had been allowed, preparing for a day they hoped would never come. That day arrived sooner than expected. The Ceres Station, a major asteroid mining facility and advanced research center in the belt, housed thousands of engineers, scientists, and their families. Under the guidance of Thorne's associates, the station had developed a revolutionary resource extraction method using a specialized form of energy derived from his original FTL research. The Federation's long-range monitoring systems detected unusual, high-intensity energy signatures from Ceres. Based on threat prediction algorithms and biases about humanity's dangerous development pace, the system automatically flagged Ceres as suspected development of advanced energy weapons in violation of Associate Membership Agreement. The Federation Leadership Council authorized action to prevent escalation. A Federation compliance fleet arrived at Ceres without warning. Its commander, a rigid Boolean officer slavishly devoted to protocol, transmitted an immediate demand: cease all operations and prepare for comprehensive inspection. Station Director Palmer responded with confusion. This is a civilian research and mining operation. Our work is focused on energy-efficient resource extraction, not weapons. We'll need time to prepare proper documentation and welcome your inspection team on board to verify this. The BYRNN commander interpreted this as delay and obfuscation. Following exact Level 2 potential threat neutralization procedures, he ordered the firing of a system-disabling pulse, a low-energy discharge designed to temporarily paralyze weapons systems and high-energy laboratories without causing direct casualties. What happened next would forever change humanity's relationship with the stars. The pulse interacted catastrophically with Ceres Station's unique energy core. Instead of temporarily disabling systems, it triggered an uncontrolled chain reaction, overloading and then detonating the entire station from within. In moments, Ceres, along with its 7,000 inhabitants, was reduced to expanding debris and radiation. News and images of the disaster spread throughout human space. Shock quickly transformed into grief and then into unprecedented rage. The Federation's official response came hours later, a cold statement expressing regret for the unfortunate accident caused by inherent instability in humanity's underdeveloped energy technology, while reaffirming the necessity and correctness of Federation safety protocols. They accepted no direct responsibility. Earth's government faced tremendous public pressure. Ambassador Lee secretly provided evidence, through Rostova, that the Federation's actions were based on faulty information and paranoia, not genocidal intent. But that did little to diminish the outrage over the carelessness and arrogance that had led to thousands of deaths. President Keller, ashen-faced before a global audience, announced 72 hours of mourning. Then, in a private, secure meeting, she gave Commander Rostova what she had been preparing for: full authorization for covert action. "They've crossed a line," the president said. "Make them regret it." Project Aegis, Rostova's classified rearmament program, moved from preparation to implementation. Hidden shipyards beneath the surfaces of remote colonies, inside hollowed asteroids, and even under Earth's oceans activated. Dr. Thorne's team worked around the clock, reverse engineering and improving Federation technology while incorporating Zephyr shielding into every vessel. A resistance network codenamed the Gauntlet formed across human space, comprised of former military personnel, engineers, and enraged civilians. They operated in decentralized cells, communicating via untraceable quantum-entangled devices developed by Thorne's team. Among the Gauntlet's field commanders was Marcus Kane, formerly a civilian engineer whose entire family had been stationed on Ceres. His tactical brilliance was matched only by his burning desire for justice. The Federation increased surveillance and patrols, sensing growing instability in human space, but unable to pinpoint its source or scale due to the spreading use of Zephyr. Ambassador Lee operated with increasing danger on the Citadel, suspected by Xyler, but too valuable as an information source to extract. The Gauntlet launched its first operations, daring raids on Federation logistics convoys, fuel repositories, and small communication relay stations. Their objectives were disruption, resource and technology acquisition, and sending a message of defiance. They utilized old cargo ships retrofitted with Zephyr shielding and enhanced weapons, striking quickly and then vanishing before significant response forces could arrive. The Federation captured a few small resistance cells or individuals suspected of involvement. To make examples and crush the spirit of rebellion, they conducted public executions, spacing prisoners, broadcasting across human space, on charges of terrorism and Federation security violations. This backfired spectacularly, further igniting humanity's rage. Unable to locate the Resistance command structure and suffering mounting losses from raids, the Federation decided to implement a large-scale punitive strike to break humanity's will. They selected Proxima 3, suspecting unusual activity there, though still unaware of Zephyr. Ambassador Lee discovered the attack plan on Proxima 3 and its timing, sending a final warning to Rostova before being discovered and detained. The Federation punishment fleet arrived at Proxima 3 expecting minimal resistance. Instead, the colony activated hidden planetary defense systems, localized Zephyr shields, concealed missile platforms, and energy cannons. The initial Federation assault was repelled with heavy losses. Recognizing that the Federation had revealed its genocidal intent and the moment had come, Rostova ordered the Aegis fleet, Phase 1 complete, to launch from secret bases. Furious over the failure at Proxima 3, the Federation main fleet was dispatched to the system. Commander Rostova, aboard her flagship Retribution, chose the nearby Tartarus Nebula as an ambush site. The dense gas and dust clouds hampered the Federation's long-range scanners and provided tactical advantages. The confrontation that followed would be remembered as the Battle of Tartarus Nebula. The Aegis fleet, smaller in number but equipped with Zephyr shielding and optimized weapons, engaged the Federation main fleet in a ferocious space battle. Human forces employed hit-and-run tactics, utilizing the nebula's terrain and concentrating firepower on the weaknesses of Federation warships. Information provided by Lee. Fighter squadrons led by Marcus Kane sowed chaos throughout the enemy formation. Target their port shield generators, Rostova commanded from the Retribution's bridge. Their regeneration cycles leave a 3-second vulnerability. Federation ships, accustomed to technological superiority and direct engagement, were caught unprepared. Their formation broke, discipline crumbled, and their supreme commander either perished or was forced to retreat in disarray. The Aegis fleet achieved a decisive victory. News of the devastating defeat of the main fleet spread rapidly. Many other oppressed member species within the Federation, seeing opportunity, rose against the controlling dominant species. Uprisings erupted across Federation space. At the Citadel, chaos reigned. Federation factions turned against each other. A gauntlet special operations team, or an internal uprising, rescued Ambassador Lee. Ambassador Zyler and other high-ranking leaders were captured or fled. The Galactic Federation effectively collapsed. The aftermath brought temporary instability across former Federation space. Humanity, though victorious, had suffered losses and faced an uncertain future amid the galactic power vacuum. Humanity organized the Galactic Reconstruction Conference at the Citadel, now renamed Freedom Station, inviting representatives from all species, both former Federation members and independent civilizations. Dr. Thorne presented a vision for a new galactic cooperation charter based on principles of sovereignty respect, non-interference, equal cooperation, controlled technology sharing, and transparency. He emphasized learning from the Federation's mistakes about fear-based control. President Keller addressed the gathered delegates. Humanity's fury was justified, but we refuse to become what we destroyed. Our newfound strength will be used to protect freedom, not to dominate. We have all seen where the path of suppression leads. In a quiet moment after the day's proceedings, Rostova, now Grand Admiral of Human Defense Forces, stood with Thorne, watching the diverse species representatives engaged in animated discussion. Was it worth the cost? Thorne asked quietly. Rostova's gaze drifted to the memorial wall, where names of those lost at Ceres and in the subsequent battles were displayed. They gave us no choice, she said finally, but we can honor them by building something better. Zephyr, once a symbol of resistance, had become the foundation for shared defense technology, cautiously shared with new allies. The galaxy entered an uncertain new era, one without the Federation's stifling control, but also without its stability. Peace requires vigilance, Thorne observed, watching new alliances forming among the delegates. Rostova nodded, and the lesson about lines that should never be crossed will not be forgotten.